Okay, now we're able to go on and do our dome features in this case. And basically, with the Microscribe, all we need to do is measure a distance that goes from the top of our wall to the bottom of the dish, or the same thing, the top of the wall to the top of the dome. So we'll start with our Microscribe, and we'll get the measurement on our first dome. So again, we'll just do 2 points and do delta Z. And we'll measure from the top of the wall to the bottom of the dish. And that gives us the distance 0.09, which we stored on our clipboard. Okay, now what we're going to do in this case then is we're going to leave this sketch. We're going to select this face of our top face here. We're going to go up to Insert, Features, Dome. And we're going to put that value in, Control V to paste it in or type it in. In this case, we don't want a dome. In this case, it's showing the dome is coming up. We actually want to dish it in, dish it down. So we'll just click the little arrows on the left-hand side, which say reverse direction. And see the arrows then, the lines, dotted lines come in here, and that's showing us we're going down inside. We click OK, and if I rotate it, you can see it does dish in now. Okay, let's square back up. We can do the same thing with our other dome. In this case, it's going to be a regular dome in this case. So we're going to go to and measure the height again. And with calipers, 2 points, delta Z. And now we'll measure from right at the top of the wall to the very top of the dome. And 0.10 has been stored in our clipboard. So very similar, we select that face. We'll go up to Insert, Features. We need to exit our sketch first. So we have our face selected now that we're out of the feature, or out of our sketch. Insert, Features, Dome. We put the value in this case is 0.10, Control V. And we want to come up so we don't hit the reverse direction. We click OK. And now we have the dome coming up. So we have a dish and a dome together. Now we should be able to make this last cut, which is this extruded cut again all the way through of this odd shape. In this case, our shape is going to be a little bit different. Okay, now what we're going to take a look at then is we got our domes done. We can do that cut here that goes all the way through, that kind of that odd shape. And in this case, for that odd shape, we're going to use what's called a spline cut, because that gives us the different curves that we're going to need. So we're going to do exactly what we've done before. We're going to start off and select our top surface. We're going to go extruded cut again because we're making a cut. In this case, again, we're going to click on our spline. And our spline in this case tells us to enter up to 255 points. Now 255 is quite a few. You don't have to do all 255. You can hit enter at any time. But the more points we get, especially as we go along some of these curves, the better our data is going to be. So let's start right here. I'm just going to work along the edge. And as I get to corners and curves, I'm going to take more points to be more accurate. Be careful not to double click as well with the foot pedals. Because then you get some weird features in your diagram which don't match up quite as well as they should. Okay, get in here. And last one there. Okay, once we have all our points entered in that we want to use, then we can just go ahead and click enter on our chart. And it did our spline for us. So we did miss one little section here, didn't give that for us. So we're going to close that off. I'm just going to go up ahead and use an arc. And I'll do a tangent arc. So I click on each end. And that'll be close enough for this one. Just a regular arc, a 3-point arc probably would have been a little bit better. In fact, let's go ahead and do that. Let's change that to 3-point arc. I'm going to approximate that curve a little bit better with that. So I change to a 3-point arc, click my two sides. I just move a little bit here, like to the side here. And then get that to be about where I want it to be. And that looks pretty good. Okay, so now I can exit my sketch. And I want to go through all. It's not going to be exactly perfect in that corner, but you get the idea here. I could have gone one more point and it probably, or ended up on the point I started with, and that would line up a little bit better. Okay, and I click OK because we're going through all. And my part has now cut out all the way through. So you can see we've got all the features. We've got our slope surfaces. We've got our rectangular extrusion or cut here. We've got our two circular domes, inverted and normal, and our extruded cut all the way throughout. And now our part's completed, so we can go to our orthographic view or isometric view and any of those views and take snapshots to include in projects.